Mouth, who has attained so much, your spring has not dried up. Your spring flows forth ceaselessly. Over you I proclaim a river issues from Eden, and it is written like a spring whose waters do not fail. Now I testify that all the days I have existed, I yearn to see this day, though my desire was not attained. For with this crown this day is adorned. Now I wish to reveal words in the presence of the Blessed Holy One, for all of them crown my head. This day will not hasten to enter its place as another day, for the whole day is in my control. Now I begin to reveal matters so that I will not enter shamefully into the world that is coming. Here I begin and speak. I have already said that all the lamps shining from the supernal lamp, concealed of all concealed, are illuminating rungs. By the light of every single rung is revealed what is revealed. Those lights are joined, light to light, shining into one another, inseparable from each other. The light of every single lamp, called crowns of the king, adornments of the king, shines from and is joined to that light within, not separating outward. So all ascends to one rung. All is crowned by one element, no separating one from another. It and its name are one. The light that is revealed is called garment of the king. The light within, and that light is the one who is inexpressible and unrevealed. All those lamps and all those lights shine from the Holy Ancient One, concealed of all concealed, the supernal lamp. Upon contemplating all the lights spreading, there is nothing but the supernal lamp, hidden and unrevealed. Before the world was created, they did not gaze face to face, and therefore primordial worlds were destroyed, and primordial worlds were fashioned in disarray. That which is disarrayed is called flashing sparks, like a blacksmith pounding an iron tool, scattering sparks in every direction, and those flying forth flash and scintillate and are immediately extinguished. These are called primordial worlds. Thus they were destroyed and did not endure until the Holy Ancient One was arrayed and the artisan proceeded to his artistry. Regarding this, we have learned in our Mishnah that a spark emitted scintillas upon scintillas in 320 directions, and those scintillas are called primordial worlds, which immediately perished. Afterward, the artisan proceeded to his artistry and was configured as male and female, and these scintillas were extinguished and died, and now all endured. From Botsina de Cardinuta, the lamp of adamantine darkness, issued a spark, a mighty hammer striking, scattering scintillas, primordial worlds. It mingled with pure air, and they were sweetened by one another when father and mother united. That Father is spirit, treasured away in the Ancient of Days. In him was concealed this air, absorbing the spark that issued from the lamp of adamantine darkness, and was hidden in the belly of mother. When the two of them conjoined, merging with one another, a single mighty skull emerged, expanding in its directions, one to this side, one to the other. Into this skull drips dew from the white head, which it catches. That dew appears in two colors, and from it is nourished the holy apple orchard. From this dew of the skull, manna is ground for the righteous, for the world that is coming, and by it the dead are destined to be revived. The manna issuing from this dew never appeared except at the time when Israel wandered in the wilderness, and the Ancient of All nourished them from this place, which never happened afterward. As is written, "Look, I am about to rain down for you bread from heaven. From heaven, as is said, may God give you of the dew of heaven." This pertains to that time. As for other times, we have learned Human sustenance is as difficult for the Blessed Holy One as splitting the Red Sea. In fact, it depends upon mazala, destiny, upon mazala, surely. In any case, children, life, and sustenance do not depend on merit, but on mazala. All depends upon this mazala, as we have established. 90 million worlds journey within this skull and are supported by it, and this pure air is included in all. Since it is composed of all, and all is included in it, his face expands in two directions, in two lights, comprising all. When his face gazes upon the face of the Holy Ancient One, all is called Erech Apim, long-suffering, vast countenance. What is meant by Erech Apim? Healing countenance. For there is no healing in the world except when they gaze face to face. The male extends by Da'at, and porticos and chambers are filled. From the top of the skull it begins spreading throughout the body, from his breast and his arms, through all. To his back cleaves a spark from the lamp of adamantine darkness, flashing, generating a certain skull, sealed on all sides, with the radiance of two brains engraved in it. She cleaves to the side of the male, so she is called Yonati Tamati, my dove, my perfect one. Do not read Tamati, my perfect one, but rather Ta'omati, my twin, surely. In the hair of the female, colors are mingled, as is written, the dangling locks of your head like purple. Gevurah is linked with 5 Gevuran, powers, and the female expands in her directions, cleaving to the side of the male, until she is separated from his side and comes to join with him face to face. When they join, they appear as really one body. From here we learn a male alone appears as half a body, entirely compassion, though split, and similarly a female. When they join as one, all appears as one body. Really, so it is. Here too, when the male joins with the female, all is one body, and all worlds are joyful, for they are blessed by a complete body. This corresponds to the mystery, therefore Yud-He-Vav-He blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it, for all constituted one complete body, matronita, cleaving to the king, becoming a single body. Therefore blessings prevail on this day. From here we learn that one who is not male and female is called half a body. No blessing inheres in anything lacking or defective, but only in a complete place, a complete thing, not half a thing. Half a thing can never endure and never be blessed. To this female are linked all those below. From her they suckle, to her they return, and she is called their mother. It is written, say to wisdom, you are my sister. There is wisdom, and then there is wisdom. This female wisdom is called small in comparison with the other. So she is called, we have a little sister, and she has no breasts. For this one has been dragged into exile. We have a little sister. Although she certainly seems little, she is grand and great, for she is fullness, receiving from all. As is written, I am a wall, and my breasts are like towers. And my breasts, for they are full to suckle all. Kamigdalot, like towers, for they are great rivers issuing from supernal mother. The male extends on the right and the left, through the inheritance that he receives. When colors combine, he is called Tiferet, beauty, and the entire body is arrayed as a great and mighty tree, beautiful and fine. Beneath it the beasts of the field find shade, and in its branches dwell the birds of heaven, and there is food for all in it. His arms right and left, in the right life and chesed, in the left death and gevurah. His innards are configured with da'at, and all porticos and chambers are filled, as I have said, for it is written, uvida'at, and by knowledge, rooms are filled. Further, the body extends into 2 thighs, and joined between them are 2 kidneys and 2 testicles of the male, in which are gathered all the anointing oil and vigor of the male, of the whole body. All the powers issue from them, all pouring forth in the mouth of the phallus. Therefore they are called Sevaot, forces, namely Netzach and Hod, Tiferet, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, Netzach and Hod, Sevaot. Thus, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh, Sevaot. Phallus of the male, consummation of the whole body, called Yesod. That is the very rung that sweetens the female. All the desire of the male toward the female inheres in this Yesod, entering the female to the place called Sion and Yerushalayim, which is the place of covering of the female, like a woman's vagina. Therefore it is written, for Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh has chosen Sion, he desired her as his seat. When Matronita is separated and conjoins with the king face to face on Sabbath eve, all becomes one body. Then the Blessed Holy One sits upon his throne, and all is called the complete name, the holy name. May his name be blessed forever and ever. All these words I have reserved for this day, so that I might be adorned with them in the world that is coming. Yet now they are revealed. Happy is my share. When this Matronita joins with the king, all worlds are blessed and in a state of total joy. Just as the male is composed of 3, and the beginning is of 3, so is all. And so is consummation of the whole body. Matronita is blessed only by totality of these 3, namely Netzach, Hod, and Yesod. And she is sweetened and blessed in the sight of the Holy of Holies below, as is written, Kisham Tziva Adonai et habracha, Chayim ad ha'olam. For there Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh ordained the blessing, life forevermore, since there are 2 rungs, above and below. Therefore no one is permitted to enter there except the high priest, who derives from the side of Chesed, since no one enters the place above except the one called Chesed, entering the Holy of Holies, and the female is sweetened, and this Holy of Holies is blessed deep within, in the place called Sion. All holies of the male enter there, all coming from the supernal head of the skull of the male, from the aspect of supernal brains residing therein. That blessing flows through all members of the body to those called Sevaot, and that entire flow conveyed from the whole body gathers there. Then the flow is poured forth into that holy Yesod, completely white, which is why it is called Chesed. Some of that Chesed enters the Holy of Holies, as is written, Kisham Tziva Adonai et habracha, Chayim ad ha'olam. For there Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh ordained the blessing, life forevermore. Rabbi Abba said, the supernal holy lamp had not finished saying Chayim, life, before his words subsided. I was writing, intending to write more, yet I heard nothing. I did not raise my head, for the light was too great and I could not look. Just then I trembled. I heard a voice saying, length of days and years of life and peace they will add to you. I heard another voice. Life he asked of you. You gave it to him. Length of days forever and ever. All that day fire did not cease from the house. No one reached him. No one could, since light and fire surrounded him all day long. I flung myself on the ground and wailed. After the fire disappeared, I saw that the supernal lamp, Holy of Holies, had departed from the world, enwrapped, lying on his right, his face smiling. Rabbi Elazar, his son, rose, took his hands, and kissed them, As for me, I licked the dust beneath his feet. The companions wanted to weep, but they could not utter a sound. Then their weeping began. Rabbi Elazar, his son, flung himself down 3 times, but could not open his mouth. Finally he opened, saying, "Father, Father, 3 there were, into 1 they have turned. Now the beasts will flee, birds are flying away, sinking into the chasm of the great sea, and the companions are all drinking blood." Rabbi Chia rose to his feet and said, "Until now the Holy Lamp has been watching over us. Now is solely the time to attend to his honor." Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Abba rose. They carried him on a litter made out of a ladder. Who has seen the confusion of the companions? And the whole house exuded fragrance. They lifted him onto a bier. Only Rabbi Elazar and Rabbi Abba attended to him. Truculent stingers and shield-bearing warriors came from Sepphoris and Tiberias, and the inhabitants of Meron, banding together, shouted, for they feared that he would not be buried there. After his bier emerged, it rose in the air, fire flaring before it. They heard a voice, "Come and enter, gather for the wedding celebration of Rabbi Shimon. He shall enter into peace. They shall rest upon their couches." As he entered the cave, they heard a voice inside. "This is the man who shook the earth, who made kingdoms tremble. How many open mouths of accusation in heaven subside today because of you. This is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, in whom his Lord glories every day. Happy is his share above and below. How many supernal treasures are preserved for him. Of him is said, as for you, go on till the end, and you will rest and arise for your destiny at the end of days."